Let's collab, bro. Wanna link and build? Wanna make some heat? Okay, I'll stop now. Welcome to the Solo Artist Collaboration Series, where I'm doing a few videos about how to collaborate with other musicians, producers, singers, or anybody else on a song. In this video, I'm gonna show you why collaborations often fail and how to make sure your next collaboration is a successful one. If you're a solo artist and you're looking to collaborate with other people on a track, I'm gonna show you how to do this the right way. So you wanna collab? Here's the mistakes that are keeping you from successfully doing this. When you go to work with other people, you never establish a foundation of what you want to make together. You don't know how to complement each other's talents, and you don't communicate in an actionable and effective manner. The consequences for all this is that things fall apart due to time and a lack of communication. You become unmotivated and you forget about it. So why are these mistakes? Isn't this just something that could happen? Well, if you are both serious about your craft, whether you're a producer, singer, or any other type of musician, if you're both serious about your craft, these mistakes are fully preventable. They go above your talent and your skill level as a solo artist. It's all about your communication and talking with each other first that is going to make or break the collaboration. So I'm going to give you a better way to do this. I know it's going to help you out. What identifies a successful collaboration is clear communication and working together effectively and in an actionable way. This makes the collaboration smoother because you both know what you're doing for the song. You have a direction of where it's going to go, how long it's going to take. You're learning from each other, and you have a plan to actually get it done and get it released, if that's what you're trying to do, of course. So let's dive deeper. I'm going to give you a few boxes to tick when you're going into your next collaboration. I promise you it's going to make it smoother, clearer, more fun, and will result in better music. All right, so the first step, talk about what your collaboration is going to be and what it's not going to be. Before you get started, have a quick discussion about genre, instrumentation, how long the track's going to be, what it's going to feature. This is really important because it's establishing responsibilities and it gives you one clear goal that you're both going to strive towards. With that, step 2, you want to express the strengths that you want from each other. Collaboration can be a great learning process and a great way to utilize each other's talents. This is why it can be so great to work with people who make music in a completely different way or focus on a particular instrument or they focus on a particular production style. This is a great time to work with people who are kind of opposite to how you work. One misconception is that we're two drummers, let's get on a song together as two drummers and we go to make something together and I want the drums one way, they want the drums another way, and we end up both wanting control over the same thing, and we get in each other's way. It's actually a really good thing to separate your responsibilities and be responsible for different parts of the track. So if I'm a drummer and they're a drummer, but I could also do guitar too, I would way rather have one person in charge of the guitars and one person in charge of the drums, so that each person's creative minds are being incorporated into the track and we don't have any confusion over who's working on what. Because when there is confusion, that's a bottleneck for a collaboration. It's going to slow it down and it's going to cause you to start mulling over things just way too much. The bottom line is that if you don't have something to complement each other with and you both want control over the same things in the project, you're likely going to get in each other's way. Be responsible for different things if you can. So when you're expressing the strengths that you want from each other, this is a time to be really specific. Talk about what you'd like to hear from that other person. Maybe they're really good at a certain production style where they only work outside of the box using real gear or something. That's a great time to have them handle some of the outboard gear kind of stuff, analog synths and all that. You want to use the skill sets of each other that are the strongest and are the most unique and interesting, because it's going to give you a really cool finished product that's a hybrid between your skill set and their skill set. Great collaboration can only exist in an environment where people are feeling like they're validated and they are able to feel comfortable and free to express their inner personality and their skills. If you don't express those strengths that you want from each other correctly, it can be one of those situations where you're a great drummer, but you're playing bass in the band for some reason. And then when you're talking with each other over these things, you want to use checkpoints to get you from each part of the process. So when you send emails to each other or you upload something to the drive, make that a time to say, okay, great, here's this instrument that I just added to the track. What are we going to do next, and how soon can I expect that from you? Obviously, art takes time and you can't rush things and try to get a song done in just a week or something, but it's important to establish a time frame, because if you don't have a time frame, it might just fall to the wayside. Maybe I'm projecting and speaking of past trauma, but I've had that happen a number of times, and it should never have happened because these are great projects I was working on, but they just kind of fizzled out. I want to show you that it doesn't have to be that way for you. This also helps with the aspect of responsibility. You know, say, hey, I just did this. Are you going to do this now? It helps establish really clear expectations of who's going to do what and when they're going to do it so that you can continue to move forward on the track together. An example would be, hey, I just sent you the drums. Can you incorporate those, add your stuff, and give it back to me so I can listen to it? So that kind of example gives a task to the other person that they can very clearly get done and get back to you. And the last thing I want to talk about is getting to know each other before you go and collaborate. So if you don't know the person you're working with, I would really take some time to establish what makes that person tick, you know, musically. What kind of music do they listen to? What kind of instruments do they like working on? Do they just sing or do they also play guitar as well? Sometimes collaboration itself can be a way of getting to know each other, but if you're miles away and you can't work in the same studio or something like that, it could be really important to have these kind of conversations because it helps to understand the personality that they have and how it's being incorporated into the music you're both working on. It helps you to hear and understand that voice that's going to be shown through the track you're working on together. These kind of conversations can also help to break down some walls between each other and help you to have free-flowing ideas and conversations about what your track is going to sound like. It's all a thing about personality. You know, you're working with another person. You're not just working with their skill set. Get to know the person you're working with because it's going to help you make a stronger team and a better finished product. So there's 4 things to be sure of in your next collaboration. If I had these things when I first started collaborating with people, I'd come out with way more successful collaborations than I have. And these are things that I constantly remind myself of and I'm incorporating into every collaboration that I do with people. And speaking of collaboration, if you're working on your music and you need professional production in your track, go check out my website and learn more about how I can help you get your music sounding like what's on the charts today so you can feel confident and release it to the world. Thanks so much for watching this long, and I want to hear from you if you have any other strategies that you employ in your collaborations. Leave them down in the comments below. I'm really excited to hear them. And if there's some good ones, I'll talk about it in another video in the future. Thanks so much for watching and have a good day.